I'm Kendall Buster. I'm a sculptor, and I designed and built vessel field for the Gilman Hall atrium. It became really clear to me, even before I started developing the forms, that I wanted to do something that would engage that entire space rather than to work with a singular object. And then those forms coming out of an interest in the usage of the space and thinking about creating forms that would be in conversation with the artifacts that would be below. I really love the idea that there was this relationship. The first day was really about just getting in, unloading, getting everything in place, figuring out our game plan. The rigging crew began to organize the lifts that would be needed and whatever equipment. They started going up to the top of the grid shell and attaching the cable, so it was a really nicely coordinated effort. Because this is such a beautifully designed pedestrian-friendly campus, big trucks were not going to come right up to the front of Gilman Hall. I think there are 54 sections, and so they were just kind of let out at a point that was convenient where the trucks could come. And then these forms were ferried with smaller trucks into the site. So those were brought in the front, laid out, organized by vessel. And then my studio crew came in, unwrapped one at a time, and then these were assembled in the main atrium. What happened pretty early on in the game was that we talked about how we were going to rig this. We looked at the forms as they were being built, made measurements. We talked about where we would put the hanging points on the forms. So that stuff has to be very much integrated from the beginning. Then what was really the fun part is you start to plan how you're going to assemble the pieces. I mean, it's really kind of amusing. One of the things that one has to ask is, well, what about that last one that goes in? You can't keep someone in there forever, but you've got to be able to assemble it from the inside. So one of our team ends up inside the form, in this case inside the vessel, and puts those last bolts in. And then the piece is lifted and they slide out the bottom. The riggers also came up, I think, with a really ingenious idea, which was to build this platform. The piece would be put onto the platform, secured, and then that platform is lifted up to the point that the piece is going to ultimately hang, and then these cables are attached. I think most of these pieces really evolve out of the site as a space, and then they evolve out of the site in terms of the site's function. I've always felt like with the work, from the very beginning, even when I was a student, that I wanted to do work that had a certain scale, but that at the end of the day delivered on a cellular level. And what I mean by that is that when you look up close, it's still delivering. There's this handmade quality.